Whether the building's got people in or whether it's empty, it still has this warm, welcoming, comforting feel.
It gives you that little small break of forgetting that you've got the illness, and and it's like when the kids run around, and it's good to see it.
It's just become my second home at the moment, and my best friend. It's been through this journey. We'll start crying again.
I was probably one of the first people in the Newcastle one, because it opened within a week or two of my diagnosis, and all these people with smiling faces, come and have a cup of tea, or what would you like, biscuits, and they realised that my wife was very upset, and the head of the centre, Karen, very kindly just brought her into a private room and talked to her, and was able to let some of my wife's emotions, because we were still in shock.
People come in rock bottom, very upset, and even having one period of time in here, getting the information and advice they need, they often go out much lighter, their load's been lightened, and yeah, they've still got cancer, but they've had some information and they've had somebody who understands and can help them navigate, the cancer experience.
Well, when I first had to come nearly 5 years ago for treatments, Maggie's wasn't here. So it was a case of going in there, coming out, and just going home, and your head wasn't in the right place. So of course when Maggie's opened and decided to volunteer, in a way it's just like coming home. You had this connection with people, understood. You didn't have to explain yourself.
Well, the cancer ward they've obviously they were used to Greg escaping and just find him in Maggie's. They just sent somebody for him over here. But when he had surgery, obviously they hadn't really met Greg before, and so when he had his amputation, but 3 days after his amputation, he escaped out the wards on crutches, half a mile across the hospital. Everybody's panicking, didn't know where he was, never thought of Maggie's first, but eventually found him in here. So he was then given a wheelchair. So the second day he came across in his wheelchair and was shown how to do wheelies.
People need support for a considerable amount of time, so we do get the regulars who come in every week, do the yoga, do the tai chi, or just come in to meet up with somebody who is in a similar situation to them, and they've got to know through coming into Maggie's. We want people to visit again and again, and hopefully get everything they need while they're going through a very, very difficult and traumatic time. For people with secondary cancer, obviously their cancer isn't curable, so they potentially will need more support from Maggie's, but it's what we're here for.